2, 3, 4. Cheech and Manny Show. Cheech and Manny Show.
All right, and we're back. We're live on the air. This is the Cheech and Manny Show. Today we are going to do a little discussion. I know you did some research on this topic. Rush,
Yep.
Ticketmaster, or maybe like ticket prices, and Anika Nilles, their new drummer, who is now the unprecedented privilege of being in the professor's drumming seat. And we're just
Yeah.
gonna do an episode on this, a little of Cheech and myself, Manny's commentary on the subject. So this one goes out for our Rush fans.
Mhm.
We know that Rush is the greatest band in the galaxy, and there's a lot that can be said about their 50 something tour and their decision to tour again, which is really awesome. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, Cheech, what's up, brother?
How's it going, man? How's everything?
Oh, dude, life is good, man. Life is
It's
good.
good. I'm doing good. Played a lot of bass, hung out with the beautiful daughter Zoe. Went to that awesome bookstore I was telling you about. Great day today.
That was a good. You sent me a picture of Soren Kierkegaard, who's like one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up next time, and I'm gonna get it for you
Yeah.
because it's a, I don't know the name of the store. A little bookstore in Scarsdale. A lot of cool stuff. The Stephen King section was
Oh,
insane. It was
I
insane.
believe it. You know, let's find out. A little fun fact: Stephen King hit it big with Carrie, the book.
Oh, I love that movie. I
Yeah.
gotta say, I mean, we're off horror now, but that mother I would put up with Reagan as far as fear goes,
Oh yeah.
or the kid in The Shining. That mother is so brutally frightening in that But laying off the horror. Now
Yeah.
we're back to music.
And then you mentioned the kid from The Shining, Red Rum, Red
Oh
Rum.
yeah, yeah. In Salem's Lot, that scene I sent you, the little vampire.
Right, right. Yeah, no, we talked about those moments, but
No, Stephen King, he's the king of horror, man. He
no, he's very
unbelievable.
influential. And actually, it's interesting. I'm a big reader. I have not
Yeah,
read any one of his books. I know you recommended
I
um
read Misery.
oh, you know what's funny? I saw Misery, the movie, for the first time.
Oh, it was great,
It
great
is
movie.
it is scary. Kathy
Oh
Bates'
yeah,
character, so unhinged.
Kathy Bates is amazing in that
Which
movie.
I would assume that she's unhinged in real life just based on that performance, because
Oh my God.
that was a great movie. But yeah, I have not read a Stephen King book, believe it or not. So maybe I know I asked you which one would you recommend, or
Misery because I felt like it was more scarier than the movie when she bashes his legs in. Oh
oh,
Christ,
and that's in the book.
that scene is yeah, that's a brutal scene. Yeah.
Right. But anyway, we'll leave aside the scariness because we
Yeah,
wrap
Halloween
up.
season. We have one episode coming out left of horror, and now we're going to be jumping on to Bruce Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen, Bruce Springsteen.
Springsteen for Deliver Me Out of Nowhere, the movie that I'm gonna go see, and maybe
Yep.
do another episode. I don't know if you're gonna see the movie, but maybe like I'll watch it, ask you questions, like
Yeah.
insight, and see if we got a lot of things right, which we're Cheech and Manny, we usually get it right.
Yep.
But yeah, exciting stuff. I'm really excited. Also, as a side thing, I noticed Iron Maiden and going back on tour. Did you see
I
that?
saw that. I'm excited for that. I
Yeah,
didn't
but
see any
oh, it's
New York
sad.
dates.
The closest city, New Jersey, or
Yeah.
not
A,
really, which is interesting.
a weird name, New Jersey. I never heard of. Wasn't even a name I heard of in New Jersey.
It was like Harris, New Jersey, like something.
Yeah. Harris, New Jersey. I was like, where the fuck? I thought it said Harrison. I'm like, oh, there's a venue in Harrison. Oh my God. Now I wonder how much maiden tickets are going for. That's
How-
gonna be that's gonna
we
be
gotta wait.
interesting.
We gotta wait because I know it looks like I went on my Facebook, which Facebook will give me the sort of the um it's funny. I just pulled up this I don't know if you can see it. The Jesuits nearing the end. Anyway, the Jesuits, and that's a whole nother story. But let me see if I can pull up the poster. But it's interesting. Yeah, I would wonder how much tickets are gonna. But it's weird. Only a few cities. So I'm also kind of. I don't know. I mean, hopefully they announce more.
Oh,
Especially.
they will. They will. I mean, the Maiden always does their rounds in America, but they're gonna hit like Rush adds more dates. I just got oh my god, I just got a message. So they have 40. Now they're adding more, so it's gonna be close to 60.
Yeah.
I just got a Google message.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I posted something about that. They added more. And actually, one is near, I think, Mohegan Sun, which
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out those tickets. I mean, most likely they'll be 300, which is the topic of our episode today.
Yeah.
Um,
Today's topic is going to be about Rush tickets
yeah,
being so high, and we're gonna have our opinions on this, and I'm sure there's gonna be people out there that are gonna have their opinions, but the the main thing is I have a lot of facts that I studied, and I talked to a lot of people who told me some things about the music industry, and I never dreamed about looking up ticket prices and all, dynamic
no,
tickets. But my opinion, I'm still on the side of Rush, that Rush is not gouging prices to rip off their fans, because if anything, Rush respects their fans just like Maiden does. You know what I mean? Just like Bruce Springsteen, like Rush is made by their fans. So how it's not Rush. And we're gonna get into who I think it is. This is just an opinion. This is not factual stuff, because I don't think we'll ever really know.
yeah,
I'm just
no,
gonna give my opinion on it.
no. So that's like the subject today. Like we'll start with you, and then we'll also have a quick discussion on the new drummer Anika Nilles.
Of
So
course, yeah.
fans out there, give a little background who she is,
Oh yeah.
and and I can't stress this enough. This is our opinions. If you disagree,
Yeah.
all good. Leave a comment below. What do you think? I know we had already a negative comment where someone said Rush sucks. Like they're
I
too.
mean, don't blame Rush, guys, because they're not gonna do this to the fans. And I wish I knew the lady's name who broke Rush in Cleveland. I sent you the video. She
Yeah,
came out and said it's not Rush doing this, and we're gonna discuss who our opinions are that
yeah,
I think are doing this. Okay, so Rush now it's 40 shows, but it's probably more than 40 shows now. It's
yeah.
probably it's in the 60s, I would imagine.
They announced more dates. I know. I don't know if it was a couple days ago or,
Yeah.
and they released a new video which I sent you. You probably saw already.
Is it? Oh yeah, yeah. It's just Alex and Geddy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see one with Anika. Them all three together. That would be interesting.
Isn't it a little fascinating how they're kind of, I don't know if they're hiding it or doing it on purpose, but
Well, AI's made a bunch of them, which is like cheesy. I've seen like
so cheesy. Yeah.
but I'm really getting into her. I've been watching her videos, and we're going to talk a little about her. Phenomenal drummer, and quite
Yeah.
the looker, I might add. you know. Um, so anyway, whatever shows is probably up to 60. Um, Everyone is bitching about Rush and the high ticket prices. And I'm going to break down why tickets are so high. Also, Bon Jovi has announced he's doing a tour. I looked up his tickets. The cheapest one is $600 up to $1,700.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not the bands, guys. This is something that people have to understand.
No, it's
We're
not.
I'm gonna throw out there, it's the venues that are backed by oodles of money by Citibank, Chase Bank, it's the promoters, and it's this one place called Ticketmaster. And then the last on the list is the artist. They're last on the list of all this. Okay. So first we're gonna talk a little bit about how this works. And this is new to me. So I'm learning as we go. Dynamic pricing. So have you ever heard of this, Manny?
I have. Yeah. It's kind of similar to like inflation
Yeah.
in the concert going world.
It's basically it's what it is. It's a strategy that adjusts ticket costs in real time based on the current demand, market conditions, remaining inventory. So instead of a single fixed price, the
Mhm.
cost of the ticket will fluctuate significantly throughout the sale period, similar to buying airline tickets. Now, we've all bought airline tickets.
Yeah.
One day they'll be $100. The next day they'll be $500.
Yep.
That's what it's come to in 2025.
Yep.
We're in 2025, right? I feel so weird saying that.
Yeah.
I want to say 1985, but I can't. Um, so that is what dynamic ticket pricing is, and that's the problem. I think that's the huge problem we're
Yeah.
facing.
No, and I think I will say you did the research on that yourself. So I'm shocked that this is actually not. I don't know if people don't know that, but that's the reality. I mean, it's not
It is.
just
It is.
not.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it, and I was talking to
Well, we'll
you
see.
know,
Could you tell the last concert you went to that you paid?
um I saw a government mule and Cheech and Chong at the Capitol. Like, I mean, not together, but I think it was the Capitol's great, man. The Capitol's like
Oh, so
150.
the Capitol is your old school theater. The tickets are sold. I mean, you can, yeah, the prices are, except
But
no, except when but you see those prices that what do you
Sting, right? Didn't Sting play there and they were like $800 tickets?
well, I was referring to like Bob Dylan. Like it went to a ridiculous price. Like the scalpers got a hold of the tickets and started selling them at such a high value because Bob Dylan's, is a hot commodity. But yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part though, the Capitol is reasonable because it's like,
Yeah, and they get big names. Like, I mean, I was surprised Rush didn't do small venues like Massey Hall if it's
yeah,
still open in Toronto or the Capitol. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That would have been, imagine that. They'd have to shut down Westchester Avenue if Rush was playing the
Oh,
Capitol.
oh, yeah. I'm actually surprised. I don't know, like it is interesting, but what was the term you called it? That
Oh,
inflation?
it's called dynamic pricing.
Yeah, the
You know,
dynamic pricing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and yeah, the Capitol is great, but sadly, when it comes to the bigger venues, which, and you're going to talk about this, are owned by
yeah.
banks. I mean,
Owned by banks. They're backed up by Citibank, I think, is the biggest bank that backs most of the venues in United States for anything, hockey, basketball, any indoor arena activity.
yeah.
Well, they don't have circuses anymore, but like any kind of I don't even know what people go to these things to besides sports or like I mean, what else do sporting events and music events, right? What else do they
I
have at
mean,
these big venues?
mostly, if anything, maybe comedians, maybe
Yeah,
one of the big names, but
yeah.
yeah, you're right. It's mostly, and by the way, talk about sports. I mean, the dynamic pricing is crazy there.
I don't even know like how much. I mean, forget about the World Series that's coming up, but Toronto. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to give the thumbs up about Toronto because I'm going to get a
Right,
lot. I have a lot of haters at me for
right.
that. But when they play LA, right? I mean, what would that cost? Like $900 a
I
ticket?
mean, yeah. I mean, it's, dude, we're talking about, and I'm not a sports fan, so maybe he has the same feeling if someone tells me, why would you spend $300 on Rush tickets, right?
Right, right.
People actually do pay, dude, like, I remember for I went to a Yankees game at the new Yankee
Yeah,
Stadium,
yeah.
and my friend got these free tickets. Dude, their price are like 500, like 600.
One game is that
Dude,
much.
per seat, man. And I'm like, damn.
Um,
And I'm thinking people actually pay that? That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I
And
know
again,
it's
and no judgment. Like it's kind of like the same feeling like where when I'm spending, you know,
well. People who love sports, they love the Yankees. I know Leslie loves the Yankees at the Temple. Our good friend Leslie, as much as we love
he
Rush. You
he
know,
would pay that money. And I get
Leslie
it.
would. Yeah.
Like listen, I get it. Like now obviously with me, I'm not gonna get it because and again, other people will have that same reaction when um I'm sure you've gone that flack where they're saying, how you gonna pay that much for like, you know, your this band or that band. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I think it's okay. Like, because if you're passionate about like baseball or like music and you love the band, you want to support their work, go for it. And I think this
Yeah.
episode is an apology. And when I say apology, a defense for Rush because
It is a defense because I think people need to listen to this. Like I said, it's our opinion. We're not going to know the answer. I mean, And it's not like I've seen horrible memes where like Geddy and Alex are walking on gold, drinking champagne. It's like
Mm.
they should be drinking champagne because they got a new great drummer and they're gonna go on tour. That's
Yeah.
not walking on gold. Like they're not messing their fans up. And I think this is probably one of the biggest tours out coming. I mean, because it's not only Rush going back on tour, it's with the new drummer, and it's Rush didn't tour in 10 years, so it's up there with. I would say it's probably behind like maybe in the top five, right? With Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, or these
Oh,
other artists
yeah.
that are really making waves with concerts.
Yeah, and I
You know.
sent you that yeah, no, I sent you that interesting video about Anika Nilles, which we'll talk about in a bit, but it's yeah, it's a lot of unprecedented stuff. They haven't toured and just the reaction. And that's why they're happy too, because they I think they forget how great they are and how
Oh
legendary
yeah.
they are. So, shows their humility because I think at first they were just gonna do a few shows, just
Yeah.
get back out there because they love to play music.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that the demand was
Oh,
there.
the demand is there, definitely. And like my mom keeps saying to me, like, she's like, my mom is like, I'm so happy for them because, they're my mom's age, maybe a year or two younger. And look what just happened to Ace. Ace passed away at 74. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what Rush could be like, hopefully like Pete Townsend or Phil Lesh.
Yeah.
Phil Lesh from the Dead, I always respected. He was 83 and he was still touring.
Yeah.
I think they could still do that. And another thing that's been annoying me, that a lot of people are talking about in these Rush forums, Getty's voice. Getty's voice is still amazing.
Mm.
I'm so tired of hearing like, oh, could he still sing? Geddy Lee could still sing. If Geddy couldn't sing, he wouldn't go on tour. You know what I mean? Or he'd have like a backup singer, which a lot of bands do.
Yeah.
But Geddy, I don't think Geddy, of course, as you age, you're gonna lose. He's not gonna sound like he did on
No,
2112.
no,
But he
no.
was but he was 21 years old. The guy's now 71 or 72.
Right, right.
So Getty's voice is amazing. So stop hating on Getty, people. I'm like,
A lot of haters out hating,
I
man.
don't know if you're and like on on this YouTube thing I was watching, Rush fans got to stick together. And this one
I,
guy, we were going back and forth. He was laughing because he saw Rush on Farewell to Kings. He paid $7.76 for a Farewell to Kings ticket in 1977. But that's that's then. Um, so any more questions on dynamic pricing? Oh, are
no,
you
I
good?
think
Okay.
that's an excellent answer to the problems we're seeing with the tickets are, you know,
Oh
going
yeah.
the price are sometimes insane.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. And here's the next biggest problem. I'm gonna, I guess we could say their name, Ticketmaster.
Hmm.
Now
Even in
they use this method, and actually they started dynamic pricing. They started this, and this is like what they say they do, and they're owned by Live Nations. Now, according to Ticketmaster, they say um, the artists and the promoters decide whether to use dynamic pricing, and
mm,
they set the terms and the subject to dynamic pricing, and they can put a cap on it. So not all tickets are dynamically priced. Okay, so that's an interesting fact too. And it's all about the queue. This is what I'm learning. So when you go online, it's not like you could go to the old days, run down the Ticketmaster, Ticketron, wait online and buy your ticket on paper. If you're in the top 50 of the queue, right when the tickets go on sale, you're going to get a good deal. You're going to
mm,
get at least $300, $400. But if you're 500, it's going to be 650. Then you're going to click again. It's going to be 700. And then you'll say, okay, screw it. It's Rush. I'm going to pay 650.
hmm.
Pay it, but then there's surcharges and fees and all this BS that Ticketmaster puts on there. You're looking at like almost $900 for one ticket. That
Right.
is not Rush's fault. That's the monopoly of Ticketmaster. They got you by the, you know what. Um,
Mm.
so so not all the tickets are dynamically priced. I'm not sure if I understand that, but I guess I do when it comes to the queue. You go into
Mm,
the queue and I guess when they release tickets right away, they're going to be cheaper. I know that for a
mhm.
fact because I've seen people say they got tickets for Rush for $400.
Right.
They must have been real lucky to be in the queue. Okay. The next one is Rush is unlikely to use dynamic pricing because they've declined it on every tour they've done. They've never
Mm,
really used it from my research. And this is on the venues, the promoters, and of course Ticketmaster. And everybody uses Ticketmaster because StubHub and all these other things are selling bootleg tickets. They're raising it. There's a lot of scams out there. But no one knows for sure if Rush is using dynamic ticket pricing. So we don't know that for sure. You know what I mean? And we kind of never will. That's an inside music industry thing.
mm,
So here's another thing I got to put in. Why are ticket prices so expensive? And I think from now on, ticket prices are going to be what you see. And it's just how it's going to be
mhm,
because of two reasons. The average tour for a band to go on tour is hundreds of thousands of dollars, up
mm,
to tens of $1 million, up to $30 million. And if you're like super famous, like Taylor Swift, it could be in the $140 million. So there's a lot of money that goes into these shows that the band has to pay that goes into it. So at the
mm,
end of the day, when everyone gets paid off, is Rush really making the money that you think they are? Probably
mm,
not. Once they pay the road crew, the venue gets something, the promoter gets something. Then at the end of the day, yeah, Rush is making out good, but it's not what you think. They're not getting $130 million a show. You know what I mean?
yep.
That's the cost of the tour. And then also we talked about this. Now you want to bring the decline of selling music because I think you know this a little bit better than me with streaming. Like how Rush isn't selling music online.
Yeah, and I know Rick Beato has talked about this, so shout out to Rick Beato.
Oh,
The
he's the man.
state of music that's problematic because we know, and again, this is an apology for those of you that don't know what apology means. Is like a defense for Rush because
Yes.
you got to think about like the way they make their money. And yes, they have money. They're um they've been making music since the '60s, so they know obviously the music business and the in and outs. But even for
Yeah.
them, like in this day and age, um people don't buy CDs anymore. You'll see them.
No.
Nobody uses CDs anymore.
No.
And the
No.
only ones that do are maybe the old guys or old gals, or
Yeah.
even then it's really uh rare. Like no one really listens to music via CD. Nowadays, most people, now it's kind of like there's also its own thing, which it started with like pirating music online, and eventually this reached this thing called streaming, where people now stream music, whether that's on
Yes.
YouTube for free or with ads, or Spotify, Apple Music, et cetera, et cetera. Like
Exactly.
I pay for music because I'm huge. You like yourself. I'm a huge music fan.
Yeah.
I like to support music. It's like one of those
Hmm.
things that I love, like going to the movies to watch a good movie.
Yeah.
And I pay for Apple Music. But that being said, now think about it. Where are they getting their money? If they're not really selling CDs,
No.
definitely not vinyls. I mean, forget about that. Even though there is a
Oh
market
no.
for that, but
Yeah,
that,
but they're not seeing that. That's going right to the bootleg because
yeah,
you're buying vinyls in a vinyl record store that's a bootleg is a used record. They're not gonna. The
Yeah.
publishing, they're not going to contact Anthem Records and say, we just sold
Nah, dude.
3 Caressa Steels and 22112s.
Nah,
You know what I
man.
mean? That those, that would have happened in the 70s and the 80s,
Yeah, man.
because every
Oh,
time they would scan a CD, the band would get money, the record label would know, that would track sales.
right. No, and yeah, you are 100% right because, that's the problem. Um, in terms of sales, they're not, no, they're not making money. And what's worse, the streaming. Now, in order to have a nice, decent, you know, livable wage, or like if you want compensation for your music,
Yeah.
artist has to make a deal with Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah.
Way you make money is by people streaming your songs. Now,
Yeah.
unless you are the big names, Taylor Swift, Kendrick
Mhm.
Lamar,
Yeah.
Drake. I'm just throwing a few off my top of my head. Yes, you're gonna make millions. You're gonna earn.
Yeah.
You're gonna earn. But if you're like Rush, now don't get me wrong, people stream Rush,
Yeah.
but the gross payment or amount they do, let's say they do Tom Sawyer, I think it has like and streams in the millions. You could probably make 1 million, 2 million, maybe, but
Yeah.
that's after what Spotify takes out in taxes.
Right. Right.
So honestly, and that's if they get those streams, you know.
Right. Right.
Obviously, I'm happy because Rush now, I think people are going to stream their music. I
Oh
think,
yeah, they'll be making
yeah,
money off that, but
yeah.
like it's not going to be moving pictures money.
Oh no, because people are not buying records anymore. Like
Yeah.
the idea of it's like buying physical stuff non-existent, and now,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. People don't listen to music like people used to.
Right.
They just listen to music to have it in the background, to do drugs, to party,
Yeah.
to dance. Not the dancing thing that has now grown, like hip hop. Most people like if they listen to hip hop, it's not because usually not because of the lyrics. Sometimes it's more they're focusing on the beats,
Yeah. It's party music.
yeah, the
It's yeah.
vibe it
Yeah.
gives.
Yeah.
Most kids listen to music. Not I'm not saying kids. Most people nowadays. Instead of actually listening to the lyrics, listening to the instrumentation, the whole
Like
cohesive
you
album.
don't even know who the producers are these days, which is really sad. When you bought an album, I would read every fact on that album.
Well, actually,
You know?
Cheech. Well, actually, you're right about that. Kind of right and wrong. Nowadays, there are big name producers, especially for the hip hop side, that people
Right.
like, or like collectives, like Odd Future. You probably heard of that one.
But I'm
Um,
saying like back in the day, like when I got like 2112 or say Killers, yeah, I would be like Martin Birch, who's
yeah.
that guy?
Oh no,
Or,
that's
or,
not
or,
really. Oh,
or
kids don't
Terry
care. Kids
or
don't
Terry
care.
Brown, who's that guy? And then I would ask an older musician and be, oh, Martin Birch, he produced
You tell people
Machine
that
Head.
listen to music, they don't care about that. Like it's
Yeah,
interesting.
and
The Strokes released a fantastic new album. They made a comeback. They
oh
released an
great.
album called The New Abnormal. Fantastic. And then I saw who produced it, Rick Rubin. I was like, whoa,
Oh geez,
got
that's yeah,
excited. Rick Rubin,
yeah,
classic. Um, but most people don't do that. So the point of all this is that they're making money through touring. So I would
right.
say I know a lot of people are complaining. I get it. I'm not most likely not going to see Rush because that is too expensive. Heck,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have the money, yeah, I'll go. And also, like that's how they make their money. Like if you love their music and you want to support their art, I'll be
yeah.
honest, with you, Rush should be supported because they are one of the greatest rock
Oh
institutions.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
progressive rock, and definitely like if your parents out there, you have kids, take your kids to see Rush. I think if you have the money, do it.
yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
don't break an arm and leg, right? Like I think
right. And like I said, it goes back to Rush not, like you said, not making money off of streams. You know what I mean? Yeah.
barely making. They might
The-
make maybe and that's a big maybe 1 million because Tom Sawyer.
yeah, or for one song maybe. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and then the difference is now, like when we use Boston for instance, when Boston came out in 1976. They sold 20 million copies of that album in 1976.
No,
So they
and
already
no,
made a shit ton of money. Of course, the record company
Yeah.
got a lot of it, but by the time Boston went on tour, they were already making
No.
a lot of money. That's why tickets were cheaper back then. That's my
We
theory.
talked about, and we talked about, yes, yes, and we talked about that. Like, if doing the math, obviously, estimation, this is not accurate, but just do the
Yeah,
math. If we were in the 1970s, their album went 20 platinum, 20 million sales. 20 times $5 is 100 million dollars. Like that, dude. Then
yeah,
that could, okay, then we could set our prices. And mind, of course, there's inflation, like of course.
yeah. It was cheaper in the 70s.
But even then, like compared prices, what they are now is cheaper
Yeah,
back then because
yeah,
of it. Now, because the artist is not really making money off,
right.
the actual music part of it,
Yeah,
they have to rely on touring. And I think it's touring is still a lucrative business, especially if you can
yeah.
build an audience.
And not only touring, you got to add in merchandise.
Mhm.
That's where a big chunk of money's coming in. So for a Rush T-shirt, don't complain when you're going to pay $60 or 120 for a hoodie.
Oh,
It's only because Rush, they're not making money off of making an album. That's why you might not see new music by Rush, because there's no, not that they're going to want to make money from it, but a lot of bands stop making new music because there's no money to be made. Like the Strokes, they probably just did it because they wanted to make music and get it out there.
no, no, and you can hear it. And there's a lot of great music that, when I heard, and obviously the Strokes are legendary.
Oh, I love the Strokes.
And
Yeah.
I think they released the album. I'm not gonna pull out, not to be too much on my phone, but they've been releasing records, but their new record. First of all, they chose Rick Rubin, an OG director. They could have gone
Oh
with
yeah.
someone younger,
One of
someone.
the greatest producers from the Beastie Boys. He reinvented Metallica in the early in the millennial.
He
When
helped he helped Johnny Cash.
oh god, that's one of the
Which he's the
main.
one I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm pretty sure I'm like, obviously I'm not perfect, but he was the one that suggested Johnny Cash sing the Nine Inch Nails Hurt because
He did. He
yeah,
came up
from
with that.
hell, he was
Yeah.
like, Johnny, sing this, like, because you can. He knew that Johnny can interpret songs, but
Yeah.
so they did it for the music, not really, to massive. Now, obviously, Strokes go on the concert, they're gonna make money. I think they
Yeah.
were at the Capitol, either him or Julian Casablancas, one of them. Um, but yeah, just Rush. I would say, you know what, like they make their money, and if you love Rush, it's like supporting your family. I'm like, go.
Exactly.
I would say better that than, I'm not trying to be a hater, but a certain somebody, LeVay's daughter, that'll be a code name. People
Yeah.
looking for a hackless talent like that, LeVay's,
I
which
mean, Zena LeVay is charging. Actually, it's interesting with her. I want to say Britney Spears. I always say that.
who?
Taylor Swift. I always confuse Britney Spears and Taylor Swift. My
No, no,
'80s
I'm saying
brain.
like a joke. Who's Britney
Yeah,
Spears?
yeah. But my sister and my nieces went, and they didn't pay ridiculous amounts of money. My mother and I were talking about this. This is in 2023 maybe. So, but things have changed in 3 years. Politics, inflation, music streaming. People are not. Things are so different now. It's people got to get used to ticket prices being between 350 and $600 for each ticket. That's what I think. If you're in the queue at
How much?
Ticketmaster,
How much did they pay back then, for the and
I think
LeVay?
about 300. My mother said something like that, which isn't so bad. I don't know if they had nosebleeds. They probably didn't have the best seats, but but
As we speak, like I'm seeing for Rush, $391. And again, I'll be honest with you, Rush is legendary. Like I
yeah,
totally get that. Like honestly, like because they're a hot commodity, and I'm actually
yeah,
happy it's them and not Anton LaVey,
yeah,
Anton LaVey's daughter. But
yeah, Xena, yeah.
because honestly, this person is, we'll call it that we don't get any haters, but
I
she
mean, I give her credit though. Like she does put on a show, So you're paying, if you're gonna pay a lot of money for her, you're gonna see like what Madonna used to do.
show
Madonna put on a show. I
you're
mean,
going
I
you're
mean
going
it's a
to be entertained.
yeah, And people are paying that kind of money for Bad Bunny too. I was researching him, and
Oh,
now
yes, I forgot
since
to
he's on
mention
the
that.
Super Bowl, playing the
Dude,
Super Bowl, his prices, but he's not playing America. But like people are flying over to Puerto Rico
yeah,
and paying
yeah.
like thousands of dollars to see the guy, and he's doing something right. I think he's good. I don't mind him. You
Something,
know,
yeah. So again, I think you and I are in agreement that Rush deserve it. It's not their fault.
no,
If
yeah.
we are gonna blame somebody, if you want someone to blame, maybe Ticketmaster, maybe
Well,
he's
I'm going
good.
to tell you who to blame. Venues like the Garden, promoters, the greediest people in the world, because I had to deal with them in my music
Oh, you
career.
had that, yeah, you have that experience.
Ticketmaster. I'll tell you right now. I did a huge show with a brilliant band called Funky Espresso. Old timers will remember them. Probably one of the biggest shows of our lives. We played the Palace Theater in Connecticut, in Stamford, Connecticut. We played the Palace Theater. We
Wow.
opened up for Maceo Parker,
Yeah.
the legendary sax player from James Brown, and another hot band at the time, Deep Banana Blackout, who went on tour with Government Mule. So this was it. We went on like right before Maceo, you know. So we were gonna get nothing. We were not gonna get paid to do it. We knew the promoter. We knew a guy who worked for the promoter. He said, "I got you guys this gig." We were hot. We had a huge following. You know, we were playing. You know, we definitely sold a lot of tickets. And then we said, "Can we have a merch table?" So we set our merch table up. We made $800 that night off of merch. People
Wow.
loved us. I remember one of the first times after we played, we would play other places in Connecticut, and people from that show that saw us were following us. We got this following. But the friggin' promoter found out we had a merch table. He called up and he said, "I want half of what you made." And we were like, wait, we didn't get paid. He goes, "If you ever want to play my club," and this was a big club in Portchester, I'm not even going to say the guy's name. He goes, "This is what he said. This is how these people think. If you ever want to play my club again, give me half of that money." So we had no choice. You know, we had to give him half of, and this was our big payday, $800 on merch, you know. But
Yeah.
even for a small band like us, we made a lot of money on merch. We didn't get paid to play the show. We played the show for exposure. Hopefully there were you know, we did get some interest in booking agents. We got some more gigs out of the show, smaller gigs in the city, but we did make money off merch. But had to give it to those are the real thieves, the promoters. Venues that, you know, Citibank is backing, and you know, all these other banks, and of course Ticketmaster, which has, you know, and I'm going to explain. I did research on Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster, the reason why Ticketmaster is a crook is monopolistic market. Live Nations owns Ticketmaster. It has faced accusations of monopolistic practicing, giving control over to the people who sell tickets in the venue access. And this allows for higher prices of tickets. And then we didn't even talk about the fees. So you said
Yeah.
somebody got a ticket for, you know, so it's all, I blame, it's a combination of people, but Ticketmaster is the monopolistic means that they're it's a monopoly. You know what I mean? It's a monopoly. They own the business. You know, the other places you could go to, I don't even know them, like StubHub and Tick something. You might get a bootleg ticket, or you're gonna get. They're basically scalpers, right? So Ticketmaster is a monopoly, and then what they're doing is robbing you more. $300 for a rush ticket, awesome. I'm gonna hit that queue. I'm gonna buy it. Give me two, okay? That'll be $1,500, please. Why? Why $1,500? There's a surcharge. That's $200. There's this fee. There's that fee. Why so many fees? For what? Rush can't control that. That they cannot control. The fees that Ticketmaster put on their tickets. You know, they could dynamically price it at 400, but they can't go against Ticketmaster. That's the problem in my humble opinion. Could be wrong. I'm not in the music industry on that level. But what do you think of that fight?
No, I agree with you. At the end of the day, it's a monopoly, because and at the end of the day, I'm not being negative, but it's just the reality where music has become a capitalistic venture, and
Yeah.
obviously, there's a supply and demand aspect. And again, we kind of talked about this. Where I'm not Iron Maiden. I'm not sure how much tickets there. But what is fascinating is that Iron Maiden has to tour with Megadeth, and there was another band.
Anthrax.
To be honest with you, I'm not saying that people are not going to go out to see Megadeth. I'm sorry, Iron Maiden, but they don't have that same supply and demand as Rush have. And I think Rush, what's left of Rush, they're shocked. And
Yeah.
the manager probably came to them, guys, you have
Yeah.
no idea the commodity you are.
Yeah.
People are fighting over tickets, and we need to add more cities. Can you guys do it? And they're like, really? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
well,
Rush isn't like let's play a game and do no. Rush is like
no.
yeah, we'll. I'm surprised Alex is agreeing to do it because
Yeah, no,
because I
and
know Alex is the one with
it's not
health issues.
even, and it's not even old Rush. It's with a new drummer. Usually it's like when Linkin Park started touring, and I'm not sure how they did like live wise, but I'm sure they lost maybe a big chunk of the fans. Maybe
I think so because whenever you change, my opinion, whenever you change the singer, if now if Rush was going out with Rick Emmett singing from Triumph, which might be cool, but but it still would be like it's not Rush. That's not
yeah,
Rush. You know what I mean? Um, So the singer's the most important of the band. I'm sorry. Without the singer, it's I know you just saw Styx and you said they were amazing. Without Dennis DeYoung, but it's still an important thing.
yeah. No, but I will say, Tommy. This is just a little funny.
Yeah.
When I discovered Rush, I discovered Tommy Shaw's voice.
Tommy Shaw is just
I heard
he's
Dennis
a freak.
DeYoung. Not don't get me wrong. Dennis DeYoung is talented songwriter. He's
Yeah.
amazing keyboard player. But when I listened to the Dennis DeYoung stuff, I thought it was lame.
Well, that's the thing
No,
about
no,
Styx.
no. And I grew up. Now I appreciate Dennis DeYoung, and especially
Yeah.
hearing how heavily the keyboard sound was.
Oh,
I
he's a great keyboard player. The
but
thing is, Tommy Shaw wrote the rockin' songs.
no,
Too much time on my hands and
dude,
Crystal Ball, which is the greatest Styx
oh,
song ever, ever, ever written.
dude,
Tommy
that's
Shaw destroys that.
dude.
Amazing.
No, and it's crazy because let's say if Tommy Shaw wasn't going to go on tour and was just Dennis DeYoung. And again, I'm just being funny, but it's
Yeah.
not going to be the same. You can't
No.
replace Tommy Shaw. And I saw him live, and his guitar playing is immense. Like, dude,
Oh, he kills it. Tommy Shaw, he's a
but,
genius.
of course I didn't pay $300 a ticket for that, because and they toured with Don Felder
Yeah.
of the Eagles, and there was one more.
Christopher Cross,
No,
right?
no, no. That was with Toto, Christopher Cross, and Men at
Oh,
Work. What
okay.
I'm trying to tell you, these bands, they're legendary, but they're not hot commodities.
No, they're retro. They're bringing back the sound. Like they're doing the circuits, just for people like my age bracket, younger people like you to get it. They're not gonna you're gonna get cheap tickets for them.
And I paid
Iron
full
Maiden.
price for Springsteen, just as a before I forget. Like I paid, I think I probably have the receipt somewhere in the emails, but I paid money, but because I realized like I need to see Springsteen at least before one he can't not tour anymore, and me,
Yeah,
I can say I finally saw Springsteen. You know,
right. And
um,
Springsteen is like Rush. He Ticketmaster is gonna put those fees and surcharges on there, and that's where they're gonna get you. Oh, a Bruce Springsteen ticket, $200. Cool. I'll hit the Q button. At the end of the session, it's $600. You know what I
mhm.
mean? So, but you brought up an interesting point about Maiden. Yeah, Maiden is bringing Megadeth and Anthrax out. That's because, I mean, metal is big in America. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that big like you think it is. So they need to bring in other artists that are Megadeth supposedly this is their last tour. They need to bring bands from that era. I'm surprised there's not a new band on the bill, but I don't think metal is rising in the U.S. In Europe, Maiden
Oh,
will headline on their own. Maiden
dude,
doesn't really even need an opening act.
in
Maiden,
No,
but
in
they
Latin
have to.
America, they're big too. Made in metal. Here, I will say, metal is dead in terms of the popularity.
Yeah, it's not a
Now
popular
it's
thing.
on the fringes, and I'll be honest,
Yeah.
with you, metal. And don't get me wrong, like I remember when Ozzy Osbourne, his sad passing, then metal kind of came back in the public consciousness.
For a week, you know what I mean, or 3 weeks, and it kind
Yeah,
of,
for a few, which is cool. And I
yeah,
think
it
Ozzy
died
Osbourne's
down.
record shot up to top charts for a little bit.
Yeah,
But
but
really,
metal
it's not a
metal has
thing.
not been popular since it was killed by grunge
Yeah.
in the United States. In my opinion, I have not seen. There's really no new metal bands that I'm like, oh, they're the new Maiden. Let's face it, there's not.
Yeah.
But and it's sad because
Wait, timing wise, do you want to continue this? Because we're already.
yeah, well, let me just jump into this, and then we could wrap it up. So if you have the time, is that cool?
Yeah, just because I know we're gonna have to tape the Ed Gein.
Yeah, yeah. Um, we're all over the place tonight. Ed Gein, Rush, So anyway, that's pretty much all I got. I'm gonna just say, please don't blame Rush. Blame the venues. Now you heard my promoter story, and
Mhm.
I'm small time. And imagine someone in the big time how they're raping these bands. Even Rush is probably getting ripped off by these promoters, But I wonder if Ray Daniels is their manager still. I have to look that up. But really, the big problem is Ticketmaster's fees. That's it. That's the problem. It's not Rush walking on, the Wizard of Oz gold path, saying like we're gonna make all this money. No, Rush just wants
Yeah,
to
dude,
play.
there are Ticketmaster fees, there are credit fees, bank, all
Yeah.
these fees, man.
And at the end of the day, people don't think Rush is gonna come home with Taylor Swift money on this tour. They're gonna make a chunk of change and well deserved. But like I said, to go on tour, what was the number we said? It was like from like just estimating it, up to like 30 million, from 10 to 30 million just to go on tour. That's how much bands have to put out. Now, at the end of the day, are they really are they gonna make that back? Sometimes they don't, you know.
Mhm.
I think they're on I heard they're on Polygram. I heard they went back to Polygram. I could be wrong. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, let's just jump to Anika. Any
Who's
any questions on that?
no,
On the
no,
on the
I think I think we did our apology for Rush. Support
Yeah,
and
and I hope we got, I hope people understand the facts
mm,
that we pose, because I think they're valid and they make sense. And my opinion is stop hating on Rush. It's not Rush. Blame Ticketmaster for their fees and surcharges. That's
if you're gonna blame somebody, yeah, and even then, I mean, I don't know what you expect. We're living in a capitalist economy. I
and
mean,
it's not going to change, man. It's going to be. It's going
and
to.
it's been a thing. It's been on the rise, and the fact also that this is the way the artist is going to make money. So,
Yeah.
if you love their art, makes sense. You're gonna go out and support them. And again, I'm not and like Anton LaVey's daughter. I don't think
Yeah.
love is really art, but they're doing something right. They're
I mean, she's the only one. Her and Bad Bunny, because he's such a you know, what's the word? Hot commodity. You said right now, the Super Bowl. Those are the people like that are gonna make oodles and oodles of money. Even Metallica over Maiden.
and by the way, they have merchandise, cross endorsements, advertisements, dude. They don't. I'll be honest with you. This is a controversial take. They're not even in it for the artistry of the music anymore, really.
Metallica.
No, no, no. Anton LaVey daughter and
Oh yeah. At this point,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're not. Nowadays, most musicians, like you really, if you look at the music landscape, musicians are in it like not. And it's controversial, but they're not in it for like music itself.
No.
They're not in it because they want to create art,
Yeah.
essentially. Like,
Mhm.
in their genres. they're the peaks, especially hip hop. You have your peaks in that genre right now, like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
and even Drake, he's so popular.
Yeah.
But and again, like maybe Kendrick Lamar isn't it for the music, he might be an exception, but most of these artists like they get endorsements from like, Coca-Cola,
That's true too. Yeah.
making so much money. Like they don't have to tour technically. That's why Bad Bunny can make that decision. No problem. Because
Yeah.
you're buying his merchandise and like,
There,
his
there's a famous story when the Black Crowes opened for Aerosmith, and
oh
they were being endorsed by, I don't know, Budweiser or something,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Chris Robinson was making statements about it that they don't support this, and they got kicked off the tour because
Oh,
I don't know, it wasn't Aerosmith, I think it was Budweiser. It was like, hey, we're funding this, and but hey, they
no, and again, nothing negative. I mean, that's interesting, but
yeah,
Bad Bunny also has gone into the acting sphere. So
he's a superstar. He's on the next level.
even his music will like and again, like I'm not saying that the music lacks music credibility or whatever.
Yeah,
Nowadays, the music that and again, I hope I don't get hate, but the music that will stand the test of time,
yeah.
that is not the moneymaker anymore. And in a way, I
No.
think that's good. And also, it's cool how Rush has returned to like the sort of like it's crazy the enthusiasm, which
Oh yeah, I'm so happy
radio
for
got
them.
him.
It's performance like I keep saying I'm just gonna say Zena LeVay, uh, and Bad Bunny and Zena LeVay, they're putting on a show. They're performers. Rush is pure artistry.
Yeah,
It's art. It's art. It's artistry, and that's what you don't see anymore in the music. That's why me and you are not gonna go see Bad Bunny or what's her name again? Zena LeVay. What's her
I
the
know that's her code name. We can't reveal that.
yeah. Um, I'm not gonna go see her. I mean, I like Bad Bunny. He's great. I'm not. I mean, it doesn't do anything like when I hear a Bad Bunny song. Like when I hear, Twilight Zone off of 2112. But that's just me. But some young kid is gonna feel that way about Bad Bunny the way I feel about Rush, and that's cool too. But the difference is artistry versus performance.
Yeah,
And
I
and,
agree.
and
And you see it also in the acting world where, usually you have two types of actors. You have the actor like, like Patrick Stewart or whatever, Ian McKellen,
yeah.
versus your actors like the guy in Twilight or whatever.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah. That's making a comeback
even
now,
though
right?
I forgot Robert Pattinson is good, but the other actors who are teenage heartthrobs.
Yeah, yeah,
But anyway, but let's talk about now. Let's also one more topic before we
yeah.
off the
I
ship. Anika Niles.
Anika Niles, she really grew on me. I really wasn't, like everybody in the beginning, you're kind of like, wait a second, okay, Portnoy, Mike Mangini, a drummer from Tool. You're wondering why not these guys? I was like all on that, but I watched her grown to really like her. I mean, I think she's amazing, and I think
Good.
it's an interesting dynamic to see old Geddy and Alex
No,
in
no,
this young.
it's gonna be fascinating. But I will say, just watching some of the videos that you sent me and what I've seen,
Yeah,
does have an interesting angle. Like I'm not saying it's punk, but it's like an
she's
energy.
got a rawness to her, and I think she's gonna
Yeah,
interpret. She's not gonna play Neil's part. She'll play Neil's parts perfectly, but she's gonna add her own dynamic to it.
yeah, yeah,
And, and
yeah.
I and I think I'm happy. I'm happy for that. So her life, just quick. She's a drummer, composer, and a music educator.
Yeah.
She launched her career on YouTube in 2010. So she's been around. I believe she has 7 solo albums with a backing band called Neville.
Hmm.
This is interesting. She was born to a family of drummers. Started drumming at 6. So this girl is a prodigy. So she's a prodigy. She's not just a girl. I don't want to say girl. I want to say a drummer that picked up sticks 10 years ago and took off. She's really been doing this a long time. She has a degree in popular music, which I found really cool. You know,
pretty cool.
I got my degree in bass, you know, and she
Yeah,
got her
yeah,
degree in a minor in music
yeah,
history, which I get to use now on the show.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. She has many videos on YouTube. She was a sensation, a YouTube sensation. Um, she's toured all over the world with her solo band. She's the head of a drum department at a college in Germany. I'm not even going to say the name because I'll make a fool of myself. But she's the head of the drum department. She's run drum magazine awards. There's Modern Drummer Award. It's called a Drummy Award in 2017. She was the best drum clinician, where she went around the world and just taught people how to play drums and did
Yeah, yeah.
clinics. Then she got her big break with Jeff Beck, and then through Jeff Beck, Geddy's tech Scully said, "You got to see this girl," and put that in Geddy's ear. Now, only the drum people are going to understand this. I could explain this, but it'll be another hour. Her technique tends to incorporate alternate note groupings with quadruplets and sextuplets over 4/4. The best way I think I could describe that is like Bill Bruford style, playing different meters over 4/4, like a 6/4 over a 4, a 5, adding extra beats. I could be wrong. If there's any drummers out there, maybe you can explain that better. You know, and that's her technique. Now, her influences, we talked about this at the temple. We talked about this. Her influences are very interesting. Now, you know her main influences, right? Manny, who we talked about?
Remind me.
Uh, your boy. I'm gonna say his name wrong. Jeff Picaro from Toto.
Oh yes, Jeff Carr, which is fat. What an interesting choice.
Yeah, that's her main influence
And
in
you know
cart.
what's funny? I saw the yacht rock documentary on
Yeah,
Yo. Jeff Carr had a huge influence on like the soft rock scene
he
because they
did.
played on a lot of those records. Like you hear that soft like California sound and
He reinvented the Purdy Shuffle,
yeah.
which Bonham used, and Zeppelin, and he's a phenomenal drummer, underrated. Not a name you hear a lot about,
Whoa,
honestly.
Jeff Carr, he's legendary.
Because she's young, she also put this guy, who's a monster drummer. I'm not huge. I became a fan of this band over time. Dave Matthews, Carter Bruford. I think I'm saying his name right. A monster drummer, great drummer. Was never a Dave Matthews fan until recently. I started to appreciate him a little bit more.
I
She
like their
also
song Crash.
Crash is a great song. She's also influenced by Joe Satriani and Prince. And now this is an interesting point. I don't know if it's good or bad. Neil's not mentioned as an influence.
Hey, that is interesting.
So that could be a good thing because she could reinterpret Rush's material because she's not studied it.
This is
Like
just a joke. Did she even listen to Rush
I
before?
don't know.
No, no.
Hopefully.
I mean, I'd be shocked. I mean, honestly, I have a fun little thing, and I'm not saying that she didn't listen to Rush, but I have a feeling she never.
Well, because of her age, um, like she might not. Obviously, you're a drummer like that. You're gonna know Neil Peart. You're gonna know Bruford. You're gonna know Carl Palmer. You're gonna know those are the three.
By the way, I'm totally kidding, like a little joke, but
No, I know, but like that, you're gonna know Peter Erskine. You're gonna know all the great, yeah, Tony Williams, all the greats. So she studied them all. But my thing is it a fresh perspective that she's gonna he's not an influence like Portnoy? We saw the videos. He breaks down every Rush song.
yeah,
You know,
Portnoy is and
Nick Mangini.
talk about Portnoy in a way is one of Peart's or Peart's like children. You know what?
Yeah,
Because Dream Theater is kind of like a successor to Rush. I'm like Money,
yeah.
these progressive metal bands.
Yeah, and the thing is, who knows? Maybe he did jam with Rush, but it goes back to what Geddy said. It's how she played the Rush songs. She made the songs come back to life. We had successful rehearsals, and it gave Alex and Geddy the confidence to play again. So that's why she's so important. That's all that matters. You know,
Hmm.
I think she's going to be a great choice. I think she's very, I think she's an attractive woman, which is going to be cool to add to the band.
It's funny how you
I mean,
said you're gonna see Getty and and Getty looks. We talked about as a joke. He kind of
yeah.
looks scary even before.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I wonder, like Alex could have been the cool one, but then he kind of got a little dorky.
yeah. Alex was always the coolest one.
He was, and Neil was definitely at one point I thought he was cool with the mustache. He had this great
Oh
stash.
no, no. Rush looked really cool in the '70s. They had that
Yeah,
'70s
I,
look.
I
Neil with the mustache.
disagree with UFO when they make fun of their style. I thought they had obviously a little scary, but they at least look cool. And I would
Well,
argue like moving pictures era also they look
Well, they changed with the times. Like in the '70s, they got real '70s looking, and that was a push by the record label. Like, hey guys, you got to work on your image. Your music is great, forget that, but try to work on the image a little bit. So they tried to work on that.
I
And this is
feel
what
like
I
that
read
that
that in a
that
book.
was like a bit of I mean maybe not a mistake. Who am I to judge? But definitely it's funny in Springsteen's biography. I think I mentioned this. I finished his audiobook of his Born to Run
Yeah,
um biography, and in the 70s. Did you notice the way they would dress in the 70s?
they look more like they had suits on and stuff like
If
that,
you
or no?
notice that
Yeah, yeah,
style, right?
yeah.
Now Springsteen had total control. In the 80s, he then said he kind of let go. All right, guys, wear whatever you want. And he jokingly says they embrace every worst 80s trend that you can
Well, yeah, yeah.
like even he regrets. He was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done." That's a joke, but I'm kind of paraphrasing. But he was like, "Yeah, we made a big mistake. We embraced every worst '80s trend
Yeah.
that you can think of." And
The
the band,
'70s was much cooler
yeah,
for image. The '80s was brutal. I mean,
it's yeah. And by the way, every band was guilty of this. I mean, even like
oh
our,
yeah.
you know,
All the heavy look at the heavy metal. I wore spandex at one point. I tried it for one show and I said
I will
never,
say the
never again.
spandex is cringe. Like it's
I
I don't
did it with Seance. I bought a pair of spandex and I hated myself in it. And I'm like, what a fucking poser. And I'm like, I'm going back to black jeans and playing, you know, even Maiden wore the spandex, and
they
Steve
yeah
Harris had the Pete Way thing going on. But that was the thing. And in the '90s, it's always an image thing. Now anything goes. Now,
Now, if
you know,
anything, I mean, the style is, I don't even,
dude, when we were looking for a band back in the day, I was trying to explain this to Devonta. He didn't understand in the '80s, right? We would put in must have chops, for a guitar player, chops, transportation, a good amp, and long hair.
yeah,
That was a part of the image that you wanted in the band. And he was like, well, what if a guy was great and had short hair? I was like, well, he wouldn't have been in the band. You know what I mean? We just
yeah, yeah.
want it was that's how important image was. Now nobody really now image is almost over the top. It's like it could be anything. Look at Bad Bunny. He dresses up like a woman and stuff. But so did Twisted Sister, and so did Poison. It's like that kind of thing. So it all changes. But anyway, any questions or anything on the Rush tickets in Anika?
No, I'm excited. I'm hoping they release some sort of promo video interview. So I think I'm excited, and it's
I'm
great.
almost going with. I'd be curious to hear a new Rush album. You
Maybe they
know,
do like a new maybe single. That'd be pretty cool.
that would be cool. They should do an EP. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And like the only thing that would worry me would be the lyrics, but Geddy's a smart guy. He knows. We've read a lot of books. Alex is a smart guy. Who knows about Anika? She might be able to write lyrics. So That would be.
I'll
I'd
be
be
honest with you, I have
interested.
another theory. I think that's a major reason. Maybe that's why they picked her. Maybe they've been writing music. I mean, who knows, right?
Oh yeah, they've been writing music for years, so there's going to be a new Rush album out. And first, I was kind of against this whole thing. I was like, ah, you can't be Rush without Neil. And then talking to my mom, and then being happy, and then seeing how happy they are, and then just being like, you know what? I'd rather see Rush perform and younger kids get to see him, and they're if Alex and Geddy are happy is all that matters. And Annika's the luckiest musician on the planet right now. I mean, she is definitely
It's like,
blessed.
dude, it's like a Cinderella story too with her because
Yeah.
she made it big. I mean, she is sitting in the professor's seat. So
She's sitting in the great, in my opinion, in the greatest rock drummer in history's drum seat. So, and everyone always says, you think Geddy and Alex are gonna put their legacy, like at stake here? No, they're gonna have somebody who's really good. So, well, I'm all for it. And for you haters, stop hating Rush. Stop bashing Geddy's voice, please. The guy could still sing. If you're gonna bash anything, bash the. Don't bash Ticketmaster too much. Bash the surcharges. That's the problem that you're paying. That's why Rush's tickets are so expensive. Not so much Ticketmaster. It's whoever adds those surcharges on there, and that could be Citibank. You know what I mean? That could be the snake promoters that are
yeah,
doing this. We don't know that. That's an inside job with the music industry. You know what I mean? So, but all you bands out there, be very careful when you play big shows with promoters because they're gonna try to suck every dime out of you from your merchandise. I knew one band who was famous really quick called Annihilator, and they're from Canada, they're from Ottawa. They would sell. After their show, they would say into the microphone, "If you want to buy merchandise, come to the tour bus. F this venue and F this promoter." And there'd be
yo,
lines of people at the tour bus. I remember going to see them in New York City. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, we're gonna wrap it up because I think we're gonna finish up Ed Gaines. This was a lot of fun, and it's in the end, I think our point is this. We agree on the same opinion. It's not Rush. It's the surcharges. That's it. And if you have any other info, please comment, let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, put your comments in if you know anything more about this, why the tickets are expensive, that we missed something, let us know. Because I'm learning about this. So anyway, great show, and go Toronto. It is Rush's year.
yeah, it's
Don't hate
definitely
me too much, Yankee fans.
it's definitely Rush's year, but
And
yeah,
and once again, this episode is sponsored by a metal table in the temple. That seems to be where we come up with our episodes, at this particular spot at the temple, and it's magical. And just like Mr. Black, everybody saw Mr. Black writing an episode the other day, so there's a certain metal table where me and Manny on Sunday were like, rush tickets, blah, 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 blah. Wait, let's do an episode on it.
yeah,
And I'm
we write a lot of
and
the
I'm
episodes.
Googling shit, and I'm getting dynamic pricing. I'm like, Manny, I just wrote the show in my head. Thank you, Temple, for allowing us to write another episode. And thank you, Metal Table.
Right under the priest's noses.
Oh, as always, as always.
But yeah, long live Rush, go
Yeah,
Toronto, and then
yeah,
let's see what happens. There's an exciting
yeah,
for a Rush fan.
exactly.
So.
And look for Geddy at those Toronto games because he's going to be there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
who's the Toronto team?
The Blue Jays. The Blue
Oh, Blue
Jays.
Jays. I know
Yeah.
probably gonna get a lot of haters, but
Well, um, Leslie says every morning, I'm not helping you today. I'm not talking to you today. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't ask me to put the tape in the paper. And Leslie being the sweetheart and one of my best friends, he's just busting my, what, and but if the Blue Jays do win, I'm gonna hear it from
I mean,
Leslie. Leslie said Leslie said I better move.
No,
He
and
said
I'm
you
not a
better-
baseball fan, but the only reason why I say Blue Jays is because this is Rush's year.
Oh, me too. I'm not a baseball fan at
I
all.
feel like this is so exciting. I'm gonna see if I can buy tickets to see them in Mohegan Sun, and I would probably will pay that 300. I'll probably pay one ticket. I can only afford it. Um,
Yeah,
but but yeah, I'm excited. Thank you, Chief, for this information. And
sure.
yeah, don't
And
hate, don't hate on Rush. I mean,
don't hate on Rush, man. It's not Rush. It's the service to whatever you call it, the surcharges and fees and
and even then, I think we're not totally hating on that system. It's just the capitalist system we live in. There's is what it is.
it is what it is. In 2025, expect ticket prices to be this. They're not going to go down unless you go to smaller venues. Oh, and one last thing, The Cure, who's not even in the same level as any of these bands we mentioned, Maiden, Rush, Taylor Swift. They're against, and I love The Cure. They're against dynamic ticket pricing. So they could sell. You could see The Cure for $50 at Irving Plaza or something. Where they're not going to play big places. They play like theaters like the Capitol and stuff like that. But you could get Cure tickets really cheap because they're anti-dynamic pricing. So,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, Cheech, this was good. This is the Cheech and Manny show. If you like, what you watch, please give this video a like. It will help us if you subscribe as well. If you're a new subscriber and you reached this point of the video, thank you so much. And please get excited because we have a lot more exciting episodes.
definitely,
All
peace out.
right, Cheech, my friend.
All
I'll see
right, man.
you on the true crime side.
Yes. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, Cheech, you hear me out there, man?
I hear you, Manny. What's up?
I have a question for you.
Sure.
We know that Rush is the greatest band in the galaxy. Am I going crazy?
Oh, we know Rush is the greatest band in the galaxy. Definitely.
Well, tell me, who rivals them, though?
One band, Potter's Field BX. And that's because you got Robbie on the drums, Vincenzo on guitar, Bobby singing, guy named Cheech on bass. And you can find them on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and you could see on YouTube some of the famous fan-pleasing songs like Rock and Roll Dinosaur and I Axed My Baby for Halloween, Crank That Up. And of course, the legendary Fat Chicks by Pottersfield BX. So check out Pottersfield BX, one of the best bands in the galaxy.
Cheech, my mind is blown. Now I'm gonna go out and listen to them. You should too.
Now back to our show.